Ordered the new Killer Instinct 405 Boss, and I already got this thing opened up and started putting some stuff together. But I wanted to show y'all what we're doing today. So the crossbow itself came separate from the frame. You have two Allen screws up here in the front that you put in, one in the bottom, and then the foot piece goes on with two Allen set screws that slides in the holes. That's pretty simple there. And then you'll see on here we have the quiver latch slot for it to go in there for the quick release on the quiver. So it was a simple two Allen screws in there. We've got this put together here so far, and came with the AR style multi-position stock, the riser for your scope mount. This looks pretty awesome. Excited to get it all together and test it out and see how she does. So it comes with a illuminated reticle scope. We can get that mounted up here. These are pretty common with the finger twist on there. You can tighten them down by hand. I always go ahead and get a wrench or a screwdriver and tighten them just a little bit more. We'll get them on here and check the distance to make sure that that's good for it. And let's see, yep, the scope is tight into the scope rings, but looking at this, it's got a little cant to it, so we're gonna have to loosen them up and straighten it up. Didn't really expect everything to be perfectly straight as it was. We need to move it further forward. The eye relief is a little off for me. Check it right there. That's a lot better for the eye relief. Now it did come with some Allen wrenches. So we have 4 Allen wrench different sizes. I'm pretty sure that one of these is going to be fitting the scope rings. And yes, they do. So it's not a whole lot of assembly. Honestly, I wasn't sure what to expect, but assembly was fairly simple. The instructions for the assembly were kind of slacking, and I'll show you what we got. So we got her nice and straight there. We'll see what the quality of this thing is, but it has several reticles in there for yardage. I was doing some reading and it said that if you zero in the top one around 30 yards, and the very bottom will be your 75-yard mark. Again, we'll see how well that does. But it has several markings in there. I believe it was 40 and 55, and then 75 is what somebody was talking about. Okay, got those snug. I'll check this one more time, see if it moved. It was tightened down. Looks pretty good. All right, so here's what we have. Now there should be a battery in here somewhere. Oh, it's already in there. Guess I could have checked it when I had it up to mine. Didn't expect the battery to be in it. So that makes the whole thing glow a little. Okay, so it goes red and blue. It does not make the reticle itself it glows in the whole tube, but of course it reflects off of that reticle. And there's one, you see you have your main cross, 1, 2, 3, 4 markings below that for different yardages. So nice red and blue light in there for the reticle, and it looks really good. So yeah, did come with a rope cocking device. Now we have a Barnett Expedition 350 that I bought for my wife, and it came with one of these as well, so we're familiar with this. We've used it quite a bit. Now they talk about a cable or a crank cocking device that you can buy for these that fit them. Never used one. The rope works fine for me, and I can even do the 350 without the rope. Fingers get a little bit taxing after you do it quite a few times, but it's not that bad. This one being the 405, I wasn't sure I was even going to be able, so be using the rope for sure for that one. Now it came with this. Again, the instructions weren't really that clear on this. I'm not sure what this is for. It looks like a way to relocate the quiver, the quick release on the quiver, off of a Picatinny rail, which, you know, the handle underneath, let's show that. The handle has a Picatinny under here. So I'm guessing you could slide this back and put that on there. Oh, I didn't even have the thing in the video. So the handle right here is on this Picatinny rail that's built under the bottom. It looks like you could slide this down and leave a little spot up here for that quiver to go further down and out. But again, I have it right here, so it's tucked right underneath the head of the crossbow. I'm gonna leave it there for now, see how it goes. Came with 3 arrows, and these are the Killer Instinct Hyper 20s. Or set arrows. People are going to correct me out there. They're bolts. Killer Instinct Quick Start Guide. And it shows the shooting safely, where the arrow alignment is, the end pieces and screws in there, rope cocking, approximate clicks of the scope is going to be 16 clicks is 1 inch at 20 yards. Safe hand area for loading, but it still does not show anything about the extra quiver part on this. You have info on the scope. Again, this is pretty generic info, it looks like. You know, because you have several scopes listed on the back. And then this is what came for the quiver, which again does not show the extra piece that we got. So I'm not really sure where they're going to show us that, or if it's just something we're going to figure out. And that looks like all of it. Again, pretty simple install instruction or process. Now you do have a Killer Instinct instruction manual for it. So we'll look through here before we finish this up and see if they show anything about the extra piece for that quiver. And they do. So yes, exactly what I thought. You can slide that handle back, and there's a little bit of a Picatinny rail up front where you can put that quiver on. That's going to bring you a lot further down. Since it's going to go this way, it's going to bring you further down away from the crossbow, and it's kind of an angle, so it'll be off to the left or right depending on which way you want it, pulling the arrows towards you instead of crossways going where you're pulling out, you know, from the bow to one side. So if you want to have it mounted in a different spot, you do get the option to do that. All right, so Killer Instinct 405 Boss. We're gonna get this thing lubed and sighted in, and then we'll do some more videos with y'all and show you how I did.